see that either if they didn't like it, their wife loved it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my God, my husband loves you. Oh my God, my wife loves you. Like, let's come in.
See that either in the event that they could have done without it, their significant other cherished it. You understand what I'm talking about? Wow. My better half loves you, good gracious. My better half loves you like we should come, and Steve Harvey's significant other Marjorie has supposedly gone behind his back with his protector and his own culinary specialist and source was near Lori Harvey's ex Michael B. Jordan, are saying that MJ consistently realized Steve was loaded with it when he was dishing. G relationship guidance to ladies reports as of late arisen via virtual entertainment that Marjorie Harvey was discovered cheating with two individuals from her family staff, and a few sources additionally revealed that Marjorie is presently intending to take half of all that Steve possesses. Right. Currently, tales are whirling moving on Twitter that Marjorie went behind Steve's back with his guardian. And besides the fact that she needs a separation, yet she likewise needs $200 million now. So Whole realized that Steve Harvey has fabricated his profession on offering relationship and marriage guidance, so you can as of now envision the remarks from fans about the reputed deceiving outrage stirring up the Harvey family, and keeping in mind that a few fans are stunned that Stephen Marjorie are purportedly setting out toward a pricey separation. Sources near Michael B. Jordan are saying MJ consistently realized this would happen sometime yet. What do we truly have some familiarity with Matt Jory Harvey's reputed undertaking with Steve's workers, and did MBJ truly project Marjorie would wind up playing Steve? We should separate it. I was able to take the LU, understand what I'm talking about, and like and manage the U. Look natural. Are you the you understand what I'm talking about only? The sort of life certainly planned to get that with a number 8. What over the recent weeks, stunner reports have been circling on the web that Steve Harvey got betrayed by his better half of 16 years. Is Marjorie Harvey. A few outlets detailed that Marjorie went behind Steve's back with his guardian Huge Blast, while others guaranteed that she likewise engaged in extramarital relations with Steve's own cook, and keeping in mind that Marjorie is yet to address the swindling tales fans are expressing. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and knowing Marjorie Harvey's set of experiences, that is a ton of smoke. In the meantime, reports likewise surfaced that Lori Harvey's demonstrations Michael B. Jordan G. generally accepted Steve and Marjorie's marriage wasn't so exceptionally wonderful as Steve attempted to persuade everybody, and he clearly felt that all the dating counsel Steve and Marjorie gave Lori was a lot of BS. Insiders acquainted with the Harvey relational peculiarities have recommended that Marjorie showed Lori how to be cold and determined while dating, and given Marjorie's previous, this new improvement ought not be amazing nowadays. Marjorie Harvey is known for flaunting her pamper way of life via virtual entertainment and blending with high-profile people anyway. Marjorie's life preceding gathering Steve Harvey was a long ways from the rich life she as of now appreciates. Marjorie and Steve originally ran into each other back in 1990 at a satire club in Memphis, and Steve asserted it was unexplainable adoration, so he's simply quad. He continues gazing at me, so I'm looking out for him to make me a piece of the show so we can continue ahead with the show, so he kept silent so lengthy gazing at me. Now everyone in the club was taking a gander at me, thus he at long last acknowledged, okay, I got to say something. He resembled goodness. I'm sorry, I don't have the foggiest idea what this identity is, nevertheless I will wed her. Steve and Marjorie's association was moment, and they began dating soon after anyway. The sentiment didn't keep going long, and they headed out in a different direction, with Steve later proposing that Marjorie left him since his monetary circumstance wasn't that extraordinary at the time. However, at that point, their ways crossed again in 2005. Yet again, this time with Steve enjoying some real success on the progress of The Steve Harvey Show, and Marjorie chose to allow their relationship one more opportunity. There was only one issue, however. Steve's set of experiences incorporated a past union with Mary Shackelford, and Mary later claimed that Steve went behind her back with Marjorie while they were as yet hitched. When I ponder how rapidly he pushed ahead from me to Marjorie, that was upsetting, considerably seriously disturbing. Steve took his child Winton from his marriage with Mary, and as per Mary, he controlled the lawful cycle, leaving her with nothing. He took my Winton from me. He turned my child against me, had me removed from our home, tossed out every one of the organizations, all the cash, the vehicles at a second. When I was down and crushed. He controlled the courts, everything against me anyway. Many fans have conjectured that it was really Marjorie, not Steve, who coordinated this control, persuading Steve to cut all binds with his ex. Purportedly, Marjorie likewise educated Steve to depict Mary as temperamental in the media, and Steve began gaslighting Mary and blaming her for being malevolent and destructive to their child. The part that is frightful in here is my significant other and kids must be tranquilized into whether you will be malicious, then feel free to simply point it at me, yet my child is coming in the room crying, and that is additionally private, so why you would do this? Yet, in spite of Steve and Marjorie's endeavors to wind the story, public opinions favored Mary, while Marjorie became one of the most unpreferred Hollywood spouses. As of late, Mary condemned Marjorie for her control, guaranteeing that Marjorie effectively attempted to harm her relationship with Winton. I know that as a mother, in the event that I was ever in a situation to where I must be responsible for another person's kid, I certainly ensure they have an incredible connection with that kid, yet I don't understand how Marjorie specifically can call herself a mother to her own kids and purposely attempt to disrupt my relationship with my child. And what exacerbates Marjorie in this present circumstance is the way that her sketchy activities originate before her rebranding as Mrs. Harvey. Preceding gathering, Steve Marjorie had been hitched 2 times. Her most memorable marriage was to sedate Master Jim Townsend, with whom she shares 2 youngsters, Morgan and Jason, who were subsequently embraced by Steve. Thinking back to the 90s, both Jim and Marjorie were researched by the FBI and DEA, and Marjorie evidently procured herself the moniker Woman Champion. As per one report, the specialists let Jim know that except if he helped out them, Marjorie would be captured. In light of the fact that they had statement significant proof of her own criminal operations, Jim consented to help out specialists and was condemned to life in jail. He carried out 26 years of his punishment prior to being acquitted by President Obama in 2017. Concerning Marjorie, she figured out how to get away from charges and petitioned for legal separation from Jim while he was in jail, yet Marjorie burned through no time, and when she separated from Jim, she got hitched to Darnell Woods, Jim's cousin, and furthermore a street pharmacist. Marjorie and Darnell wedded at some point in the mid-2000s and had 1 kid together, Lori, who was subsequently embraced by Steve. Yet as you can see, the course of events of Marjorie's connections is confounding in light of the fact that she and Steve case to have met in the last part of the 90s, dated momentarily, and afterward reconnected in 2005. So it seems like the 2 of them went behind their accomplices' back with one another. At any rate, after Marjorie reconnected with Steve and acknowledged he was going to become wildly successful in Hollywood, she immediately finished her marriage with Darnell, was subsequently captured for drug-related violations, and is supposedly still imprisoned. Steve and Marjorie wedded in 2007, with Steve taking on Marjorie's 3 kids. After he sealed the deal with Marjorie, Steve began doling out relationship counsel, and in 2009, he distributed his New York Times smash hit Carry On Like the Woman. Have a similar outlook as a man. The book is focused on single ladies, and the reason depends on Steve's conviction that men are extremely straightforward animals